Yo, I just got done playing the demo for Blades of Fire, the new game from Mercury's team, the people that made the Castlevania Lord of Shadows game, the new Metroid stuff like Samus Returns and Metroid Dread, and it's pretty cool. It plays kind of like an old PS3 game, like a remastered PS3 game or something. Reminds me a lot of it because there's a certain jank to how everything moves and feels in a way that I kind of enjoy but also kind of don't like. I think it's the camera movement and the way the camera works is not very good, but the combat is super interesting, and that's kind of what keeps my interest anyway. So the combat, you can do directional attacks using the face buttons, so you can do like an overhead slash or attack using the triangle button or Y on an Xbox controller. Square and circle or X and B would be left and right attacks, and a body attack is cross or A. And what this leads to is that every enemy has kind of different weak points in their armor, and depending what weapon you have and what stance you're using with the weapon, like the way you're holding the weapon, indicates how much damage you'll be able to do to an enemy and what part. And it's very easy to convey all that stuff because when you lock onto an enemy, you kind of see an outline, and any part that you won't do any damage to or you'll deflect off of will be red. Any part that with your current setup you will do minimal damage to, like you won't fully pierce their armor or something, and you'll just do a little bit of damage, will be yellow, and then green will be you are able to do maximum amount of damage to that part or whatever. It leads to this kind of cool system where depending what weapon and how you're holding it is, you'll have to change between things on the fly to be able to do like the best against certain types of enemies. So what this means is that, say for example, your sword, right? Your basic sword, you can either use it as a jab and a poke, and you can do piercing damage, or you can hold it and do slashing damage with it. And depending on what the enemy's armor is or how you have to attack them, you will do minimal or maximum damage to different parts of their body accordingly to be able to kill them or disarm them, cut their arm off or head off or whatever. And it's just kind of, it's really a cool system that actually works pretty well. And it makes every fight feel kind of different, especially because your weapons can break or be damaged. And before you're able to repair them, you'll have to switch to another weapon in your arsenal. Maybe you won't do as much damage, or maybe you'll have to switch up your tactics or whatever. So that's really cool. And then tied into that is the game has this huge forging system. So the way you get weapons is that you actually pick up parts from every enemy you fight or encounter, and you pick up crafting materials from them so that you can take them back to this giant forge or whatever, and you can make new weapons. And the way you unlock these weapons is by killing a certain amount of enemies that use that type of weapon. So there's these roguish type enemies that go invisible and come out of the dark or whatever that attack you, and if you kill I think 20 of them or something, you'll be able to make their daggers. Skeletons are claymores. I think you can make a claymore if you kill enough skeletons. I don't remember what it is for trolls, but regardless, once you have the blueprint, you're able to take different types of quality materials, and you're basically able to craft the weapon, each part differently for different effects. So you can craft different hilts, different pommels, different blades, different tips, and you can mix and match stuff, and it'll kind of give you an idea of like the durability of this weapon, how much piercing damage it will do, how much crushing damage, if it's like a mace or a polearm, it'll do. It's just a really, really cool system, and there's this whole like mini game where you're actually having to hammer out the metal into the proper shape, but if you hit it too much it'll be brittle or break or whatever, and that's how you also get repair points or whatever they are. They're like stars, and depending on the quality of your weapon is how many times you can repair it before it's completely gone. It's a really, really interesting system that combines the crafting with the combat like hand in hand. And it's enough to, I think, overlook a lot of the other failures that the game has. I don't know how much necessarily this will take you through, but it does provide a nice carrot on the stick for wanting to try to grind out some different enemy types and get new weapons or whatever, or try your hand at making really powerful stuff. And I think that's cool. The story seems okay, I guess. It's standard fantasy fare, something about all the steel in the land has been transmutated into stone, so that's why you're kind of like a super important guy being able to make these godly weapons or whatever. You're like a blacksmith god or something, a forge master. I'm not really sure what's going on with the story, and I don't really care too much, but there seems to be enough in there that there's a main quest and kind of an open world, and you'll be able to do different missions for different people and kind of learn more about the world and the lore and all that stuff as you go along. But the thing it really does well is I think the combat is cool, and I think the weapon system is neat. Also, I think it looks decent. Again, I said, it looks and plays kind of like a PS3 game, a remastered PS3 game, which maybe isn't great if you consider this is a $60 USD game. This kind of feels and plays like it probably should be a budget title, but it is a full price. I guess 60 is kind of the new budget, but it is a full price game. For people on PC, it is only available on the Epic Games Store, which I know is a contention point for a lot of people. They haven't said that they have any plans coming to Steam, but I'm sure eventually they will. This seems like a great game to pick up, maybe on a good sale or something. Otherwise, it is going to be released on PS5 and Xbox Series X/S as well. Yeah, if you're into kind of an old school sort of style of game and wanted to check something out, this might be worth your time. I personally think that I'll be waiting for a sale on it, but there was enough here that it was interesting, at least for a while. Anyways, that's it.